Hi, I'm Marie from tospeaktous.com, and this particular video we're going to talk about does and doesn't. So there are 4 different types of ways that we can use does and doesn't, and this is not necessarily to practice your pronunciation, it's to train your ear to hear these different types so that you can get used to them and so that you can be comfortable using them. So the first type is a statement. It's not a question, it's just a statement. He doesn't like to hang out with us. He doesn't like to hang out with us. So he, she, it, names and singular things we use does. He does. He doesn't. He doesn't like to hang out with us. Everyone is also an example of singular. Everyone doesn't use the same kind of spices in their spaghetti. Everyone doesn't use the same kind of spices in their spaghetti. So I just want you to listen to it and try to be comfortable using it. Everyone doesn't. It's present. It's talking about a general situation, and everyone is singular. Everyone doesn't use the same kind of spices in their spaghetti. Neither one of them does an awesome job taking pictures. Neither one of them does an awesome job taking pictures. The next type, it's a question. When you're using it with a question word. So how, when, where, how often, to what extent, which one, what kind. We're putting the question word first, then we want to use the does to make a question. So here we go. How does it look? How does it look? When does the mail get here? When does the mail get here? Why does he always check his emails during the meal? Why does he always check his emails during the meal? What does she need me to bring for the party? What does she need me to bring for the party? Who does everyone want to vote for in the election? Who does everyone want to vote for in the election? How often does your friend come to visit you? How often does your friend come to visit you? How often does it rain here? How often? How often does it rain here? Where does Heather usually eat on the weekend? Where does Heather usually eat on the weekend? How does everybody in the class get all this work done? How does everybody in the class get all this work done? How does it taste? So, how does it taste? In general, what's the taste of that food? How does it taste? Which one does Alex work on the most? Which one does Alex work on the most? What kind does he occasionally buy? What kind does he occasionally buy? How many does the coach expect us to climb? How many does the coach expect us to climb? So maybe we're talking about stairs. Whose backpack does the teacher need? Whose backpack does the teacher need? So if you go back and look at those, and you can look at the description below and see these sentences, you will see singular subjects that match the does. Now, we want to start the questions without the question word, okay? This is the third type of use for does. We're going to begin each sentence with the word does. Here we go. Does anybody want to go with me? Does anybody want to go with me? Does everyone like dark chocolate? Does everyone like dark chocolate? So I'm thinking everybody does, and it's singular. Everyone, general statement. Does anyone like dark chocolate? I'm thinking maybe I'm the only one. I think only one person might like it. Does anyone? Does anyone like dark chocolate? Does one neighbor talk more than the other one? Does one neighbor talk more than the other one? Does your sister call you every day? Does your sister call you every day? Does the university keep all the records of your classes? Does the university keep all the records of your classes? Does Jason watch TV and eat at the same time? Does Jason watch TV and eat at the same time? This is the fourth use, and this one we're going to start the sentence with doesn't, the negative. Doesn't anybody write postcards anymore? So I'm thinking no one does when I ask this question. Doesn't anybody write postcards anymore? Doesn't she cook from scratch? Doesn't she cook from scratch? This means doesn't she cook with the ingredients? She doesn't need a box of pre-prepared food. Doesn't she cook from scratch? Does everyone want to go on vacation? Doesn't, sorry, the negative, doesn't. Doesn't everyone want to go on vacation? Doesn't everyone want to go on vacation? Doesn't Kim play soccer with her college friends? Doesn't Kim play soccer with her college friends? Doesn't it take a long time to finish? Doesn't it? I'm asking. It does, doesn't it? It takes a long time to finish. Doesn't it take a long time to finish? And that's it, the 4 basic types. So you can have a statement, you can have a question that starts with a question word, then you use the does, then the subject, then the verb. And then sometimes you can just begin your question with does. And then of course if it's negative, doesn't.